Creators. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute stretch card. I cut mine on my Silhouette Cameo, but with a few tools around your craft room you should be able to make this in no time. I took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and I cut it in half so that each one are 5.5 by 8.5. And we're going to score each one of these down at 4.25 so that they're scored in half. Next thing we're going to do is score a tiny mark by flipping it to the 5.5 side, and we're going to mark it at 2 inches, just a little mark so we know where to cut it on both sides, or both pieces. So 2 inches down, make a little mark, and then pull out your cutter. I'm going to line these up with the mark that we just made on one side and the bottom corner of the other side, so that they line up at the cutting edge on your paper trimmer, and then just cut that corner off. Same on both pieces. Should just be cutting off a long skinny triangle. Okay, move your cutter out of your way. Now we're going to mark where we're going to do our cut so that the card can fit together. The first piece should be, the flat top should go across the top at 8.5, and we're going to mark it over 2 1/8. Everything's cut in half. So from here to here, the half would be 2 3/4, so I'm going to mark that with my ruler. And from each half of the card, this half is 2 1/8. So I'm going to come over 2 1/8 and come down to that ruler. And on this half of the card, I'm going to come over 2 1/8 and mark down to the ruler, which is at 2 3/4. So it's half the width here and half the width here, and that's how long that line is going to be. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other half of the card, except for we're going to have the point in this corner and this slant coming down this way, and we're going to do the exact same thing. 2 3/4 and over our 2 1/8, and score down to that mark. And then on this side, 2 1/8, and score down to that mark. And that's it, friends. Now all we have to do is just cut down each one of those marks that we've made on both halves of the card. If you want to do these cuts with your trimmer because you feel like you make a straighter line, go for it. Now we're going to put them together so that it makes a mountain in the middle and comes down. And we're going to fold the right half in and the left half in. We're going to stand them up together, and then we're going to put one right on top of the other one. And we're going to slide those slits that we just cut in together. This is the hardest part, until it goes all the way down and meets there, so that it's standing up, and then we're just going to squish it together and lay it down. And that's your card. So the next thing I'd like to show you is how in the world do you get those pieces cut so that they fit on these. Well, each one of these halves is 2 1/8 inches, so just for easy sake, we're going to cut our strips at just 2 inches. Forget about the 1/8. That way we'll have a nice little white border around each piece, and I know that a lot of people like the look of that. I know I do. And we're going to slide this one in till it meets the bottom here. Then I'm just going to hold on to that card while I cut that slant off. Cut a little piece of the bottom off so that I've got a little edge there, and it totally fits. And that's how you cut those off. And how to make your card a lot sturdier: cut yourself a piece about 1 inch wide, maybe not even 1 inch wide. Score it down the center of that piece, fold it in half, put some adhesive on each side of these, and you can do these for as many of these as you want, and tuck them inside each one of these folds and press down. And if you do them in white, they will not be noticeable. But by putting in those holes there, a little bridge between those two pieces, it will make your card solid so that it doesn't wiggle back and forth like this one moves right now. And it'll be solid just like this one so it doesn't move, and you can put your images on it and decorate it up. So that is how to make the stretch card without a cameo or silhouette. I hope that it helps you, and I hope that some of you will try it out. Thanks for letting me share this idea, and I will see you next video.